Yugi Bros!
What's up, my Yugi Bros enthusiasts? It's Connor bringing you another Duel video today. I know we haven't done this in a while. Looks like Dueling Book actually updated itself, the replay thing a little bit, because we can actually see the skills now, thank God. However, we still can't side skills. Playing Spellproof Armor. Activate the skill during your main phase. All machine monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. You can normal summon machine normal monsters with one less tribute. If a non-machine monster is in your graveyard, flip this skill over. This skill can only be used once per duel. After reading it, it seems, and I feel like I'm playing this correctly, where it stays face up and it only, it's kind of vague how they word it, but the only reason you'd be able to use it once per duel, not activate, you can only use the skill once per duel, meaning you can only flip it up once per duel. Once it flips back down, that's the end. So you're obviously playing everything in here as has to be a machine, and we're playing a bunch of normal machines because those are how our normal machines get one less tribute. So we normal summon a pendulum machine and we swing it into what looks to be Gravekeepers. So we get this 1750 monster. It's unaffected by spells. It's actually really good against, and it's convenient here to show it's actually good against eradicating aerosol, for example. Because they could aerosol the field, but your monsters aren't affected by spells. So, seems good. Next we normal summon Gate Blocker, Gatekeeper, yeah. These are the only two one tribute normal machines in Speed Duels currently. So we're forced to play both of them. Otherwise, I'd kind of want to play something a little bit stronger than Gatekeeper here. But we got the 7 completeds and stuff in the deck to pump them up, so we'll show you how it works. Gravekeepers, I try to swing in, but they read a spirit, bringing back the Recruiter. So that's the turn there. So they go, and defense face down, pass. Oh, we're playing attack and defense, or shield and sword. That's what it's called. So we activate this. It flips all our monsters' attack and defense all on the field. So even their Recruiter becomes a 1200 defense now. Yeah, the counters are a little wonky here. As you can see, I don't know, they fixed it so we can see the skills, but now like the counters get messed up in the replay. So, but keep in mind it's 1, 2, 3 counters, 1, 2, 3 monsters, blah blah blah. So that aerosol is doing nothing for them. They're gonna tribute here for Oracle. We're gonna adhesive trap hole on the summon. This halves our opponent's monster's original attack that is summoned. So Oracle goes to 1,000, but Oracle's effect does kick in, putting all these things at 0/0. So they do go ahead and attack. They accidentally hit the turn button, but they attack through. So we take the 1,000 and they go to us. We summon our pendulum machine that is unaffected by Oracle, and we pump it with 7 complete to make it 2450, I believe. But they kunai our monster and switch it to defense mode. Reason they didn't kunai and just let it go is because Oracle, keep in mind, is 1,000, so with kunai is at 15. So they're going to have Ambusher here swing in, and in the damage step they're going to flip kunai to get over it. And then Oracle is going to swing into one of our pendulum machines. What's interesting about this deck is it's got potential to be good, but it definitely doesn't have enough support yet. The fact that you have to run, you are forced to play Pendulum Machine and Gatekeeper. We're playing Jar of Avarice in here because we don't feel like it has enough resources to kind of like cycle through it, and we'd like the extra draw. We hit the attack or the shield and sword, I should say. But as you can see here, clearly it's just getting overpowered. Like, we have the Windstorm, great. They're still going to swing into our monster. We're at 3,000 life. Oh, and here's the thing. Yeah, they Windstorm our guy, so they swing into it for a full 17 or 22, I should say, because kunai. So yeah, like as you can see, it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. Shield and Sword here will put that thing down to 0, which is cool, but it does put Oracle at 2,000 because now it's 1,500 attack plus the kunai. Adhesive only halves the attack, but now the attack is the defense because of the card. They have 2 aerosols in hand, but obviously it doesn't matter. They crash. Their other ambushers at 0, so I'm not sure why that went to attack mode, but the ambusher they summoned is enough to push for game. So going second, yes. We're siding in some interesting techs. I think we got Heat Wave. Yep, there it is. We draw it for turn. Because they're all normal monsters. So I see no reason not to play Heat Wave, especially because it's not going to hurt us at all. We are playing one tribute monster in the deck, that being Launcher Spider. As a normal machine, it's 2 tributes normally, but with our skill, it's 1 tribute. So it's kind of okay. It's only 22-25, but if you shield and sword it, it gets to 25, and if you 7 complete it, at least, it could be 29 or 30, 4, I believe. No, yeah, 33 with the shield and sword active. It's a lot of things you could do with this, but I definitely think there's definitely room for improvement moving forward. But the deck's pretty cool. It's definitely it's definitely rogue for sure. I've been trying to mess with more like rogue concepts for a little bit. Actually got this idea from YuGiOh SpeedDuels.com. Creator named It's Over Matter. I'll feature his deck at the end of the video, and then I'll compare mine to his. So it's interesting deck for sure. But I definitely think, like tier 1 decks are going to run it rampant. Definitely a solid tier 2, 2.5. Like, the thing is, like, your monsters aren't affected by spells, so you don't have to worry about your opponent doing anything to you there. They obviously in this game swap Hidden Parasite for It's My Lucky Day and Dice Foon, as you can see. So yeah, like if they're flipping out the Hidden Parasite, then it makes perfect sense. Even if they didn't side the skill, like they could just side out the Hidden Parasite. But something like Gravekeepers kind of just overruns its capacity. We're going to switch all our boys. No, we're not. We're going to switch 2 to attack mode here. One of our gatekeepers is 2200 with the 7 complete. The other one is 15. We're going to keep Pendulum Machine in defense to play around Windstorm. And that kills the recruiter. And the recruiter goes to search. Another ambusher. So this game we're kind of holding it. We're holding it down. They do Dust Tornado. And then they summon Time Wizard. And this is the reason earlier in the game they didn't use Dice Foon with the skills. So they use Time Wizard, pay the 1,000, and they get it in. So they're kind of just hoping we don't top deck a monster. But of course we do. So kind of came down to a lucky draw. But that gives Machines game 2 over Gravekeepers. And so we'll move to game 3. There's our Launcher Spider. Game 3, they're going to go second. Yep, we're going to go first. No matter what anyone tells you, I still think second is just better in most decks. Like, even Serpent Knight, I get the whole Serpent Knight wants to go first to set up the Champion's Vigilance. I like going second with the deck and not maining the Vigilance, and instead maining the Heat Waves and just like pushing in for free destruction and stuff. That's just me though. And I normaled the Gatekeeper there and equipped it with 7 completed so it wouldn't die, so that we could tribute it the following turn for Launcher Spider, and then we get the 7 completed anyways. So this boy is 2900 unaffected by spells. Seems good. We just need a way to play it around traps. I'm thinking maybe in the future we play Night Beams in the main deck. Night Beams or Dust Tornadoes. I don't know. Dust Tornadoes a little bit passive. I feel like this deck kind of wants to push real quick. So we could play Night Beam. Granted, Night Beam is usually a side deck card, and Dust Tornado is more like a main deck. Go figure, they get the Time Wizard again. They pay the 1,000, they blow up our field, and they swing it for 5. Unlike last game, we don't top deck a monster, but we do top deck a Heat Wave, so we'll Heat Wave to prevent them from doing any more damage outside of Time Wizard here. And they're going to put Time Wizard in defense like they should anyways. We're going to set a Bluff and a Windstorm, and we're going to pass. They're going to Dice Foon. They've already guaranteed the effect through It's My Lucky Day, so they're going to hit 1 card. They target our Shield and Sword, thank God. And they're going to swing in here. We're going to take the 17, and we're just going to pass. They're going to pass. We draw 7 completed. Now we're just kind of like... This is another big problem the deck has, where its recovery is very shoddy. Like, you need stuff to go through. We flipped a coin because we were lagging hard. So... They're going to swing in a little bit for Time Wizard, and go figure, we just don't draw another monster. But even if we do, like, you got to look at what they have compared to what we have. 3 back row, 3 monsters, 2 Windstorm, and a Rite of Spirit in hand. Like, our game is this is definitely not going to be our game at all. So it's proven that this deck can, like, spam the field, but not a whole lot of amount. So, guys, let me show you what we were working with this deck. So this was It's Over Matter. his version, his or her version, I'm sorry, from YuGiOh speedduels.com. They were playing the main deck spellproof armor, obviously, with 3 Gatekeeper, 3 Pendulum Machine, 3 Launcher Spider, 1 Slot Machine, then 2 7 completed, 3 Shield and Sword, 3 Windstorm, and 2 Michizuri. The only thing, the problem I had with his is that too many tribute summons. You draw these things a lot dead, and you're only playing 6 actual summons, like free normal summons. And if they don't stay on the field or whatever, you're kind of locked into having these dead cards in your hand. It's just not all that worth it. The whole deck is kind of shield and sword and shield machines, as he calls it. So like I understand the whole point is to just flip these things, and hopefully it ruins your opponent's field as well. Windstorm's great. Michizuri makes sense just because if these things leave the field, we can pop other monsters on the field as well to further the field presence. And 7 complete is just a boss-ass equip card to put on a machine. This, however, is my version. We played much less. So we played one. We cut the slot machine. We actually cut the shield and sword down to 2 because, as well as it's a cool gimmick, it is gimmicky. So it's not something I felt like it really needed to play in the deck as much. We played 777 completed, just that way it guarantees our monsters some extra attack and defense, depending on what we want to use. We still kept the Windstorms. We actually cut Michizuri for Adhesive Trap Hole in the main deck. We played the 1 Jar of Avarice. The Adhesive is, I feel, very underrated in general in this game, but also cutting an opponent's monster in half, so either way your monster's either attack or defense doesn't matter at that situation. And Michizuri kind of has to wait for when your monster's to be destroyed, and if they destroy this before that happens, it's kind of a pain. I kind of like just having chainable traps instead, and I understand it's not chainable whenever, but it can be used right when they summon the thing, and it leaves them open to taking more life points as well. And this deck kind of just wants to beat face really quick. We ended up siding a Blast Sphere, which we never drew. 1 order to charge because everything is a normal monster, but again, the only reason we played 1 is because you don't really want to lose your board presence in monsters. 2 Heat Wave for situations where we felt it was necessary, and then 2 Dust Tornado for generic spell and trap hate. But guys, that is my list. That's my take on Spellproof Armor. I'm definitely going to mess with this a little bit more. What do you think I should change? Give me your thoughts and comments in the comments down below, because that's where they go. But as always, guys, my name is YuGiOh. Comment, like, and subscribe. As always, click our notification bell to get all of our latest updates, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.